Local nurses file a complaint about conditions for patients at Framingham Union Hospital. The City Council approves state funding for the Regional 911 Dispatch Center and a local effort to connect residents with one another ahead of National Good Neighbor Day. I'm Brendan Fitzpatrick, and this is The Frame, Framingham News in Focus. Hi, and welcome to The Frame, an initiative of Access Framingham. We start this week with the latest development stemming from Framingham Union Hospital, as nurses at the site have submitted a complaint to the state and federal levels, contending that patients at the facility are facing dangerous conditions. Local healthcare workers were joined by officials with the Massachusetts Nurses Association, the largest union for registered nurses in the state, during a press conference in front of the hospital this past Monday, September 16th. They say that over the past 9 months, complaints regarding staffing shortages, policies at the hospital, and delays from administrative officials have led to an unsafe environment, conditions that MNA President Katie Murphy added are present on a daily basis.
Too many of their patients are left unattended and unmonitored. They are not receiving their medications on time or at all. They are pushing call buttons, writhing in pain, waiting for a nurse who wants to respond and be at their side, but can't because they are taking care of too many other patients, or because no nurse has been assigned to watch over them.
The complaint calls for the State Department of Public Health to intervene at the hospital, which is owned by the Texas-based company Tenet Healthcare Corp. As part of Metro West Medical Center. The MNA is demanding that DPH investigators watch over daily operations, while also requesting DPH Commissioner Robbie Goldstein to sit with Framingham Union nurses and hear feedback directly. In a statement provided to The Frame, Metro West Medical Center said the following on the matter. Quote, Metro West Medical Center remains focused on continuing to provide high-quality care. We are grateful for the dedicated physicians, nurses, and staff who prioritize patient care every day. We do not condone the MNA's actions to try to discredit our high-quality organization, end quote. This complaint comes months after nurses at Framingham Union voted in favor of MNA representation at the start of 2024, and after multiple instances of community concerns regarding the level of care being provided at the hospital, all matters that we here at The Frame have covered. And we'll be keeping you in the loop with any additional developments on this healthcare front. Our website, www.theframe.news, has all of our past stories regarding local healthcare matters, along with other stories that matter to your community. You can find updates on municipal stories, full features we've compiled, and more, all online there. Be sure to follow us on social media, too. @FrameNews_ is our handle on both Instagram and X. Subscribe to Access Framingham's YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever new Frame episodes are live. Find us on Facebook as well, just by typing in The Frame. Meanwhile, a state grant totaling over $4 million for the development of a regional 911 emergency communications district was unanimously accepted by the City Council during their meeting on Tuesday, September 17th. Back in May, Framingham's legislative body accepted the provisions to create the Middlesex Regional Emergency Communication Center District alongside Natick. Emergency dispatch communications for both communities are set to be located at 188 Concord Street in Framingham, next to the Memorial Building and the police headquarters. The new state grant from the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security notably accounts for the creation of an executive director role for that communications district, who would eventually report to Framingham's mayor, Natick's town administrator, along with both police and fire officials in both municipalities. Framingham Fire Chief Mike Dutcher told the City Council on Tuesday that the posting for that executive director role does not include a requirement for a bachelor's degree, explaining that idea was implemented in order to open the application pool to more candidates, including veterans of the military.
We've had, some candidates here that have worked their way up through the ranks and have done this job and have lived and breathed this job every day, and they're qualified. They don't have that piece of paper from higher institutional learning, but they have real hands-on experience.
Residents of District 2 will get their turn to speak with Mayor Charlie Sisitsky during a meeting this upcoming Monday, September 23rd, at the Potter Road Elementary School cafeteria. It's part of the mayor's series of district meetings that he's been holding this year. Residents will be invited to ask questions, propose ideas, and give thoughts about their neighborhood during the event, which will be held from 7 to 8 p.m. District 2's City Councilor Brandon Ward will be in attendance, along with District 2 School Committee member David Gordon, as well as other municipal officials. District 3's meeting is slated for next month, while the mayor is expected to visit District 1 in November. And speaking of this upcoming Monday, that's when the annual hydrant flushing process in Framingham is set to begin. The city's water division will be starting the maintenance work in order to provide safe and clean drinking water to residents in an efficient manner. Flushing will run through November 1st in different zones from Waverly Street to Beaver Street, essentially the borders with Ashland and Natick, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. The city's website, framinghamma.org, has specific details about this year's flushing program. Citizens are advised that they can expect temporary impacts to their water supply, including reduced water pressure and discolored water. Now, that discolored water isn't a risk to health, according to city officials, though it could result in stained laundry. Ending on a positive note on this edition of the show, residents in Framingham are prepping for National Good Neighbor Day, which is next Saturday, September 28th. It's an initiative aimed at combating loneliness in communities across the United States by bringing people together through shared interests, experiences, and more. Locally, city officials are taking part by hosting the first ever Find Your People Fair at Nevins Hall. From 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on the 28th, residents will be able to meet neighbors who take part in various activities, organizations, and volunteer groups in order to find people with similar interests right in their own hometown. For this week's Frame by Frame segment, we spoke with Inessa Manning with the Massachusetts Coalition to Build Community and End Loneliness, along with the community manager for DFLE's Adult Day Health Center in Framingham, Brian Dooley, who he himself is a volunteer with the coalition. We learned more about the Good Neighbor Day movement and what goes into building a sense of community.
So last year, the U.S. Surgeon General issued his advisory highlighting the fact that the country is experiencing this epidemic of loneliness and disconnection. The way to solve for that is really reaching out to people that might be feeling disconnected, that might not have strong social networks, and trying to make sure that there are some ways for them to connect.
It's really meaningful to me to see a community rise up and say, we want to make a change. Everybody recognizes a need to grow their community and change from being, individual atomized people to working together as a group again.
And if you want to watch that full segment on Good Neighbor Day here in the city, you can visit our website, theframe.news, or head to Access Framingham's YouTube channel. That's all for this week's Framingham News in Focus. For the entire Frame team, thanks for joining us this week. My name is Brendan Fitzpatrick. We'll talk to you next week. Take care.